Is March 2nd, 2022. It is 3:05. This is the Senate Education, Finance, and Policy Committee. We now come to order, and we do have a quorum for the record. Members, before we start, we have a guest, and I'd like her to come up to the testifying table. Been a busy couple days for FFA, so welcome to the table to introduce yourself. We're going to have her introduce herself and share a little bit about what they're doing. So with that, welcome, and make sure you speak right into that mic there. It doesn't always pick up.
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you, Chair Chamberlain and members of the committee. Thank you so much for dedicating a little bit of time for me to come speak with you today. My name is Emily Matejka, and I am the state president for the Minnesota FFA Association. And you may have recognized the blue jacket as myself and my teammates have walked through the halls today. And so our state officer team represents the 13,000 FFA members across the state of Minnesota. And so within the Minnesota FFA Association, we provide opportunities for students across the state to really get involved in career and technical education. And so with those 13,000 FFA members across the state have countless opportunities within the FFA Association. Some of those being like Apex here the last couple days. I recognize some familiar faces that were at the legislative breakfast yesterday morning. So really thank you for supporting FFA and really being there to support our FFA members and giving them some of those opportunities. And so especially within education, career and technical education is very important for our students. And that's something that we prioritize within FFA and something that we're really proud of. Within FFA, ag education is a key component of that as well. And across the state, there's 35,000 students enrolled in ag education courses. And these courses are electives. These students are not forced to be in these classes. They choose to be within career and technical education and in AFNR courses. And so these courses are super important for our students as they allow them to explore those career opportunities, explore that pathway for them within agriculture, and really help them to highlight those things that they are interested in. And that's something that I've actually had the opportunity to do through my education in career and technical education, is pinpoint that career that I'd like to enter. And that happens through my work-based learning, which is that out-of-classroom experience that we really get to have through FFA as well. And so through that, I was able to really pinpoint my interest for agronomy and agricultural communications, which is what I'm currently studying in college at this time. And so that is the opportunity for many students across the state, is they get to find that career that they really enjoy, whether that's something within agriculture or whether that's not within agriculture. We really prepare those students with a lot of skills to enter their career field. And we have a lot of opportunities that focus on that ag education and those ag opportunities for them. And we really help them to be prepared to enter that workforce once they're done with school. And so FFA really provides a lot of those opportunities, and it's been a great honor to serve as the president for the last year and really represent those students that are going to be leaders within the ag industry. And so I just thank you for your time today and just all of your support for career and technical education and providing students like myself opportunities to help enter the career field and be successful in our futures. At this time, I have a few minutes for if you have any questions for me or that type of thing. So thank you for your time.
I do. So
yes.
It's Emily, right?
Yes, correct.
What's the last name again?
Matejka.
Matejka.
Yes, and I'm from Martin County, Minnesota. Sherburne is the hometown.
Emily Matejka. So.
Matejka, sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to try again. I'm terrible. Yeah, we love FFA. It's great stuff. Very well done. How many in ag courses you say across the state?
Yes, 35,000 students enrolled in AFNR courses across the state. And then there's 315 agricultural educators across the state that provide that curriculum to the students.
We love FFA and we love ag because we like to eat, as you can tell.
Yes,
around here.
Myself included.
Well, members, do you have anything you would like to share or say? Yes, Senator Duckworth.
Just briefly, and you may have mentioned it at the beginning, I apologize if you did, but could you just remind everybody what FFA stands for?
Yes, so the previous acronym was Future Farmers of America, but that actually changed in 1988 to simply the National FFA Organization. And that change was in part due to the fact that you do not have to be a farmer or want to be a farmer to be with an FFA. FFA provides opportunities for all students, and while we really push through that pipeline of agriculture and that passion for ag, we recognize that not all students find that fit for that career, but we equip them with those skills to enter any career that they may be interested in. So really proud to represent all those students and the diverse background that they bring to the table.
Thank you, Emily. Senator Kunesh, you had a question or comment?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I was really fortunate to be on the Ag Committee in the House, and then also to be one of the legislators that worked with the FFA group and with the youth when I was in the House. And I really enjoyed it and was always so impressed with the leadership, the ability to speak and advocate for your programs and for your passions. And so it was really great to see all of you marching through the halls and over at the Capitol today. And thanks for stopping in and sharing a little bit about it.
Yes, thank you for having us. I know Apex was a thing that we've done here in the past days, the ag policy experience, and it was not only exciting for me to be here at the Capitol, but also to provide that opportunity for students to be back in-person events again. So thank you for opening up the Capitol and taking some time to allow those students to have those in-person opportunities again as well.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much. I'm sure you're not going to want to stay for what follows. But thank you very much. You have a great time. Maybe we'll see you again.
Yes, thank you, Chair and members of the committee.
Thank you. Take care. So members, yes. Senator Uyghur, did you have a question for Emily?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and President Matega. I'm just so impressed with your presentation. No notes, just right in front of us, perfectly eloquent. What a shining example for the future of who you are now and what you're becoming. You are a leader, and the internship you're going to be, with Pioneer, and look forward to what's going to happen. And I don't know if that's your sister or your mother back there, but what a big smile! What a big smile she's had.
Sister or mother, well.
Long lost sisters.
All right. Anything else, Senator Uyghur?
But so much pride, and again, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Emily. I think that's it. We're going to have to move on now.
Yes, thank you,
I'd
Mr.
rather
Chair
talk to you
and
the
members
rest
of
of the hour, but we have to go on. So thank you. Senator Rose, and so members, we have four. Thank you, Emily, and thank you, FFA. So members, we have four bills today. First one is Senate File 1252, Senator Rosen.
Thank you, Mr.
And Senator Rosen, I believe we're going to send this to consent calendar, and no amendments that I see, correct?
Right. Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Chair.
You may proceed.
Mr. Chair, before I go to the bill, I do want to say that Emily Mateka is from the best Senate district, Southern Minnesota. She's my constituent,
Sure.
Sherburne. And I have a 4-year degree in agronomy. And I can tell you when I graduated, I was nowhere near that capacity that she delivered. What a wonderful speech. So as you know, ag moves this state and this nation, and I feel very good that it is in the hands of people like Emily. So.
Well said, Senator Rosen. Now to your exciting bill.
It's my first time out of the chute here this year, Mr. Chair. So thank you very much for this hearing on Senate File 1252, which modifies the governing board membership for the Minnesota State High School League. The league is governed by the Minnesota Statutes 128C, in addition to its constitution and bylaws. And this bill will authorize the league to expand the size of the board as the member schools see fit. The Minnesota State High School League includes over 500 member schools, both public and private. The league has over 8,000 registered contest officials and judges, and provides certification and training programs for coaches. But most importantly, it has thousands of students participating in the HSL activities. The governing board currently sits at 20 members. So Senate File 1252 would update the statute to match current high school league practices of electing 22 members. So members, if you remember, a couple of years ago, there was quite a bit of commentary in the newspapers, a lot of action around the fee schedule because of COVID, and the league experienced a huge revenue hit because of the activities were canceled. So with the cancellation of those activities, the revenue in the form of membership and activities fees dried up, and the league found themselves in the red. In 2019 through 2020, they were minus 400,000, and then an improvement this biennium of a negative 114,000. So they have made adjustments, and it is coming back. But there had to be some adjustments. And the school superintendents across the state were very vocal and wanted permanent positions on the board to represent spending and the financial perspective in relationship to the entire district. So the HSL board members agreed overwhelmingly to the addition of 2 superintendents, and the board now sits at 22 members. So HSL does believe that they could do so under current authority, but they want the law to specifically reflect the new membership, which would be 4 parent members appointed by the governor, 2 members appointed by MSBA, 2 members appointed by the secondary principals, 2 members appointed by superintendents, 4 members representing activities, girls, boys, music, and speech, and 8 members representing state regions 4A and 4AA. And with me, I have Mr. Roger Arneson. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Rosen. Welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record and who you're with.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, my name is Roger Arneson. I represent the Minnesota State High School League, and I'm happy here to testify in favor of Senate File 1252. Before we start that, I do want to say the league wants to thank Senator Rosen for the work that she's done with the Minnesota State High School League over the last 4 years. Very quietly, she has gently nudged multiple significant changes in both bylaws, practices, the website, everything from eligibility rules to a major change that's going to be enacted in May by the Representative Assembly about long-term eligibility semesters. And she has done that in a very positive, behind-the-scenes, let's get it done, cooperative fashion, and we really do appreciate that. I think that is one of the reasons we're very happy to have her author this bill. Everything that she said here was absolutely correct. The league went through a very significant financial crisis. The superintendents wanted permanent positions on the board. We actually submitted that to our member schools, which is over 500 member schools, and it required a 2/3 vote to add those 2 positions, and that was passed, as she indicated, by those member schools overwhelmingly. So we're very happy about that. One of the things, too, and I think that shouldn't go without notice here, is when we have appointing authorities, like the Superintendent's Association, the School Board Association, et cetera, that does allow us to appoint people that might not otherwise get elected through some of our elected positions. So we get more women, we get more people of color, and we get diverse groups that get represented. So this is a very positive piece all the way around. It is, 22 is a size we believe that's still manageable. You can get too big, and we would like to avoid that. I know we had some discussions with staff about, would this mean that we would want to be adding more positions? We'd be very happy to keep it right where it is. We don't want to make it bigger, just because the power has worked out better with 22 people than a very large group. So, Mr. Chair, I'd answer any questions that you might have about this, but we're very positive about this bill and appreciate the committee looking at it today.
Thank you, Ms. Aronson. Members, any questions? Senator Uyghur?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I am a co-author, support it, but just a question. You have an even number of members, and a lot of times we try to have an odd number in case there's a tie. Has there ever been a 10-10 or a split vote that wasn't resolved?
Senator, Mr. Aronson?
Mr. Chair, Senator Uyghur, actually, yes, we have, and just as yours practices go, that would fail. As we've talked about it with the board, we think that's a very good thing when they have those kind of votes. Sometimes there's a thought that maybe these boards are staff-run, and that sort of stuff, and when the membership comes out, the boards, and they vote 10-10 on something, then that tells you that, everybody's in their independent thought on this. And the league does solve a lot of problems for you folks, from conferences to what activities would be out there to how many innings a kid can pitch to when do seasons end. all of these sort of issues. So it does happen, yeah. But we've had an even number now for many years. And so it has worked, and I would say.
Anything else, Senator Weir? You good? Thank you, Mr. Aronson. Anything else, members? Yes, Senator Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before there is a vote, I just would like to thank the High School League and Mr. Arneson for a tremendous amount of work. You guys have been very accommodating with some of the requests. You have adjusted to the needs that were requested, and obviously it's working very well. And then COVID hit. But again, you have rallied and really have pulled together. So, like I said, the goal was to bridge this communication gap with the superintendents, and they reacted, and this is the result, Senate File 1252.
Thank you, Senator Rosen. Okay, Senator Duckworth moves that Senate File 1252 be approved, sent to the floor to the consent calendar. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you, Senator
Thank you,
Rosen.
Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, members. Thank you, Senator Duckworth.
Next up is Senate File 1988, Senator Lang.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members.
Senator Lang, welcome to the committee. You have an amendment, I understand.
I do.
All right.
I don't know what the amendment number is, but.
A1. The A1 amendment.
And Mr. Chair and members, to the amendment, if I may, that is simply a date change. Thank you. Simply a date change due to the fact that this bill was originally authored last year. So what this does is just extend it to the next fiscal year.
I think there's one other little change there too, Senator.
Oh, yeah. You take the money from the 2 years and you put it into 1 year, and it doesn't actually double the same purpose.
All right, just put it in the 1 year. Okay, great. Thank you. So, okay. First hearing. So members, this is an author amendment. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. So, there we go, Senator Lane. Now you tell us what you have.
Well, Mr. Chair and members, Senate file you have before you today is actually a pretty simple bill. We're asking for money.
Get out.
So, Mr. Chair, as you may know, I work in the emergency medical services field. I've been increasingly involved in the well-being of that field, let's just say, through recent events and also through the last few years. Prior to COVID, I would tell you that the emergency medical services, the ambulances, the ALS services, the BLS services that we've had, were struggling prior to COVID. We were losing some of our small town businesses. We were losing some of our services. And some of the people, as volunteers, couldn't quite do it anymore. So this bill represents just some money for educational purposes, but I'll tell you that as part of a bigger plan. It's part of a bigger push on my part and members of the House and Senate together bipartisanly to try and incentivize folks to get into the EMS field. How do we get high school kids interested in a field like this? How do we keep the people that are in the field right now and get a new full-time job? Do we incentivize them to have continued education? And I can tell you that there's a lot smarter people than me when it comes to explaining this bill, and I'm sure that Mr. McAlpin would be more than willing to expound on what I've said. So.
All right. Is Mr.
Should be online.
Oh, he's online. Okay. Thank you, Senator Lang. So,
I'm sure
Mr.
he's got a wonderful tan.
McAlpin, you with us online?
I'm here, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Yeah, Buck McAlpin. I'm here on behalf of the Minnesota Ambulance Association today, and we have worked with Senator Lang, and he did a really nice job explaining it. But to his point, before COVID, we've been working the last 7 or 8 years on a sustainability project at the Ambulance Association. And recently, the State EMS Board released data that 60% of the emergency medical technicians certified in Minnesota out of 20+ thousand stopped working on ambulances, a very alarming number. Currently today, there's programs like the Forest Lake program, Osseo School District, Spring Lake Park, Stevens County EMS out in Morris, Minnesota, program I believe up by Fergus Falls. Some of the high schools are offering this, but when we talk to our providers about what's hindering it at the local school level to push juniors and seniors into taking the emergency medical technician class, they refer back to funding. So we think, to Senator Lang's point, as we look at a broader package of mostly rural Minnesota, of how we keep emergency medical technicians on our volunteer ambulances, that this might be a good pot of money that they could access to set these programs up locally and try to get students into it, like I'm sure you're all hearing about the young lady that spoke from the FFA, and trying to get folks back into trade stuff. Still about 60% of the ambulance services in Minnesota in the rural part are covered by volunteers that come from the farm or come from their office to staff the ambulance. And COVID really pushed that over the edge for us, that folks just left the workforce. And ambulance services, a couple of them have shut down the last year. There's a few more of them we're working with now with our state EMS board to try to keep open. But we just think that this is part of the conversation about how we keep that going. So we appreciate your support with this initiative.
Thank you, Mr. McAlpin. Members, any questions? Senator Swedinsky and then Senator Kunish after. Senator Swedinsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Senator, is this going to be a class, or how do you see this, or an after-school activity, or?
Senator Lang.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Swedinsky. It's not going to be an after-school program, but really, realistically, the thought process behind this is we're going to allow both in the schools. For example, where my kids go to school in Redwood Falls, they have a CNA program directly in the high school. This would go to a program much similar like that. We also have talked about, the cost of going through an EMT course is there. Can we eliminate that cost? Can we make it more of a tuition-based incentive program to get those kids to go, kids, I shouldn't say kids, but they're all young adults, to not only be interested in the field, but all of a sudden it becomes financially very easy to do. That is really where we're trying to go.
Senator Swedinsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Kunish.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So are there schools that have these programs already? Do you know?
Senator Lang.
To my knowledge, yes, there are several. This is probably an expansion of there is no set in statute program. This is just going to be funding, hopefully, those, and Buck can probably add to this better than I can, but I don't know if I made that. I think I made that question worse.
I think you did.
They do exist, yes, that's the answer to the question. They exist. Now, this would add to already ones, but also create new ones.
Senator Kunish.
Yes, thank you for allowing me to follow up. And I ask you that, and that wasn't a trick question. I should have been more clear. I represent the community of Columbia Heights, and Columbia Heights, through their, I believe their fire station, have an EMS or CPR program that allows students to be trained in those kind of emergency practices. And so I was just wondering if there are more schools that are expanding, those kind of, sorry.
Senator Lang.
Sorry, you guys. If you knew if there were some that actually do that, because it would be really, I think, a great opportunity, not only to have those skills in our young folks, but also as a possible career development opportunity. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Senator Kunish. Senator Lang, anything else?
No, I just, a big thank you to the committee, and, this is something that has become somewhat of a focal point as this session is going to go on, like I said, this is kind of the first step in a multitude of bills. You know, EMS is one of those things that you don't appreciate it until you need it. And and I can tell you that when you need it, you just be glad that it's there and that you have local people taking care of you. So
Thank you, Senator Lang. Was that your closing comment? You good?
I'm good, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So, members, this, Senator Newman will moves that Senate File 1988 be approved as amended. Well, no, we're laying this over, I'm sorry. Sorry. Senate File 19988 is laid over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members.
Next up, members, is Senator Housley, Senate File 3341. Your bill has a very long name. So Senator Housley, you don't have any amendments, it doesn't look like, correct?
No, Mr. Chair, but I do have an oral one.
You what?
I have an oral amendment,
Oh, okay.
but nothing you should.
All right, so why don't you go ahead? What's your oral amendment?
It's a technical author's amendment on line 1.18.
Okay,
Delete everything after family education on that line, striking the words or early education.
say that one more time.
Line 1.18, delete everything after family education,
Okay,
be striking the 4 words or early childhood education.
oh, 118, okay. Okay, everybody have that, I think. We good over there? Okay, thank you. We're good, okay. Everybody okay with that? All right, it is an author's amendment, you can't be okay, so. Yes, Senator Kunish, it's an author's amendment.
Thank you. May I just ask why we're striking that, or why you would like to strike that?
Senator Housley?
Mr. Chair and Senator, this was at the request of the ECFE members.
Okay, thank you. So author's amendment, a oral author's amendment. All in favor, say aye. Aye? Opposed? Okay. So we took out that. Got it. So Senator Housley, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'm here to present Senate File 3341 as amended. This bill will allocate 2 MDE staff positions to support early childhood family education work throughout the state. Staff positions will come out of the existing funding from up to 2% of each district's early childhood family education aid. Early Childhood Family Education, or ECFE, has been in existence in Minnesota for over 45 years and is available in all 327 school districts and 87 counties. ECFE parent educators provide support and empowerment to parents and families, and there's a significant demand for parent educators throughout the state, and these 2 MDE positions will help support ECFE providers in their critical work. Parents, grandparents, and caregivers from all over Minnesota benefit from these educational opportunities. And online with me today, I have Susan Summers, a constituent of mine and a parent educator in the St. Paul School District, to speak more about the impact of this bill.
Thank you, Senator Housley. Ms. Summers, welcome to the committee. Please state your name and who you're with for the record.
Hello, I'm Susan Summers. I am with Early Childhood Family Education in St. Paul Public Schools. Chair Chamberlain and community members, thank you for having me today, and thank you for the hearing. Thank you to Senator Chamberlain and Senator Housley for authoring Senate File 3341. And I have to give a special thank you to Senator Chuck Uygur, who introduced the very first ECFE legislation in 1973, nearly 50 years ago. We appreciate your tireless efforts to bring the best to Minnesota families. This bill is requesting a reallocation of up to 2% of current ECFE state funding to go to the Minnesota Department of Education. This funding will support 2 full-time positions plus an operating budget that will serve to guide and support ECFE statewide. ECFE is a 2-generation program serving parents, caregivers, and children in a variety of capacities. We offer parent education classes as well as home visiting, preschool screening, family literacy, and additional tailored programming that is responsive to specific needs of families in each community in Minnesota. ECFE has been available in all 87 counties and 327 school districts in Minnesota, and we pride ourselves in being the family's first experience with the public school system. The current reality is that families are struggling. I've had the privilege of coming alongside families in St. Paul offering support and education during this pandemic, and I've seen firsthand that ECFE is more relevant and needed now than ever before. Families have experienced significant loss and grief. This has deeply impacted their parenting. Child well-being begins at home, and when parents feel supported and have adequate resources and education, their children reap the benefits, society reaps the benefits. Until 2003, ECFE had 2 full-time staff at the state level to provide guidance and support for all programs. ECFE has not had a full-time statewide director with support staff for nearly 2 decades. Our current state ECFE director has only a small portion of time allotted for ECFE, which limits support for professional development, program assessment, and accountability. This reallocation of funds would go far to ensure that all ECFE programs across the state have someone to turn to for guidance so that they can more effectively and efficiently support families in their communities. This legislative ask involves no new money. It's fiscally smart. It allows us to be good stewards of our funding dollars. This simple reallocation will allow us to continue to build capacity in parents of young children for years to come. It's a beautiful bipartisan bill where everyone wins. Thank you in advance for your support of Senate File 3341. I can take any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Summers. Members, any questions? You're slow, Senator Wicker, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you. Ms. Summers, you acknowledged my involvement earlier. Actually, in 1973, I was an intern.
I was going to say, I thought that was a misstatement.
But I was an intern for Senator Jerry Hughes, who was the chair of the Education Committee, and actually that was a project that I was able to work on, as well as community ed, and brought those right in my first successful election to the school board then, right after the internship, and have, feel very strongly in it. I did have a couple of questions, though, if
Sure, yeah, go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Senator Uyghur.
Yes, Ms. Summers, if you could comment on the effectiveness of early childhood, high-quality early childhood, and how that will prepare a student so they're ready for K and likely to be reading proficient by 3rd grade.
Ms. Summers, we're going to go down this path. Go ahead.
Thank you, Senator Chamberlain, and thank you, Senator Uyghur, for the correction. I appreciate the backstory and all of the effort that you have continued to make. This is, I think the best way to answer this is the way I wrote when I applied to be a parent educator, and it goes like this. With early childhood education, we capture the child, maybe 15 hours a week, maybe 30, maybe 40. If we capture their parents, we capture the child 24/7. So when we can prepare the home environment for safety first, and for this alignment of home and school to be the very, very first experience that families have with the district, and to understand the impact that sensitive and responsive parenting truly has on long-term impacts for children, it just goes a very, very, very long way. And if we can do what we can to eliminate adverse childhood experiences or diminish those experiences for children and the impact, for instance, COVID, we've seen this firsthand. And so really preparing the child at home allows them to then go to school and be successful and ready to learn. Does that answer that for you?
Senator Uyghur, any follow-up?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate the discussion we've had on literacy, and I made the point about early education and the building blocks, the partnerships with the parents and and instructors can lead to success. Earlier, the better. As long as we have the, the programs, tools, and many public libraries now have, and schools have lending kits and you can have for parents for free, to assist in this effort for literacy, among other things. So I just wanted to see if that's still the point of view. I'm assuming it is, that early childhood can play an important role in addressing reading proficiency. Would that be a true summary?
Ms. Summers?
Senator Chamberlain, yes, thank you. Yes, children become readers in the laps of their parents. I can't remember who said that. I can find that and give that credit to where credit is due. But there is no doubt that that homeschool connection is a big piece in early literacy. Early experiences matter. What happens in the first 3 years is so significant for long-term success for little children. And the reality is that parents need to feel supported in that. Parenting is hard. I think all of you that are parents can attest to this. Parenting is hard. And then when you add on a global pandemic, you add on things like food scarcity, job loss, homelessness, all of those impacts, all of those factors weigh in. And so what ECFE has been able to do really for nearly 50 years, but even most recently, is to stand in the gap, to hold families, to be with families, and to not necessarily fix the grief and the loss and the isolation, but to do what we can to come alongside them so that those little ones get the best version of their parents. And so a child that feels safe and feels loved and secure is a child that is ready to learn.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Summers. So, yes, parenting is hard, but it's a beautiful and wonderful, amazing thing as well. I think we'd all agree with that. And along with reading proficiency, which is in terrible state these days in this state, we have seen that. It's been proven, it's shown, it's without a doubt. As that needs to be reviewed and evaluated, I think there are probably things in the early childhood area that should be reviewed and adjusted as well, based on research and science and how we proceed. So both areas need to be fixed and adjusted and reviewed. That being said, Senator Newman moves that, oh, you got any final comments, Senator Housley?
Mr. Chair and members, no, thank you for hearing the bill, and thank Ms. Summers for her testimony. I thought it was fabulous. And thank you, Senator Uyghur, for your years of working on ECFE too. Thank you. Even as an intern, wow. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Housley. So with that, Senate File Senator Newman moves that Senate File 3341 as amended be approved and sent to Finance Committee. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Senator Housley. You're on your way. Next up is 3380. That's me.
Senator Chamberlain, Senate File 3380. Do you have an author's amendment?
I do. A2.
All right, since it's an author's amendment, all those in favor of the author's amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, the motion does prevail to Senate File 3380 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Before I start, I think I'll give a 30-second intro here quick, and then I'll let Ms. Jillseth run through the numbers here and what this means. You have a sheet in your packet that you can look at and refer to. We're creating, we're taking the current safe school statute. What we're doing is we're adding aid here. We're not changing the levy amount. This is pure aid. We are raising, we're adding a different calculation, a revenue number. We're raising that to $44 instead of the 36. And then the aid is, as Ms. Jillseth will talk about and is explained in the summary about how that aid is calculated for those different schools. You should also have in your packet runs for the different areas. So school revenue will ultimately be the aid plus the levy, and we're moving some of the numbers around, increasing others. So with that, I welcome back, by the way, I should have said this, to the amazing staff, Anne Marie Lewis and Jenna Hoffer and Miss Jillseth. So I'll turn it over to her, Mr. Chair. Good to have you back.
Ms. Jelseth, it's great to see you guys back in person. Just go ahead and state your name and help us out with the spreadsheets here.
Thank you, Chair Eichhorn and committee members. My name is Betsy Jelseth, and I'm the legislative analyst on the E12 committee. So if you will look at your packets, the first sheet I'm going to go over says Senate E12 committee on the top left corner and Senate file 3380. And this is just a summary with 4 small tables on it. I'd like to direct your attention to the bottom table that shows current law, proposed law, and then the change by districts, intermediates, cooperatives, non-publics, and BIE schools, and then lastly, charters. So as Senator Chamberlain said, currently districts can levy up to $36 per adjusted pupil unit in safe schools revenue, and then intermediates can levy up to $15 per pupil in safe schools revenue. Under this bill, it is going to add all aid so that districts will get an extra $8 per pupil, increasing their total revenue to $44 per pupil. Intermediates will get an additional $3 per pupil, increasing their total revenue to $18 per pupil. And then co-ops, non-publics, and charters and BIEs currently do not receive any safe schools revenue. So under this bill, they will all receive additional aid. Co-ops will receive that $18 per pupil. And then non-publics, BIEs, and charters will all receive $44 additional in aid per pupil. And then so if you look at the top table, that shows the breakout for fiscal year 23 by districts, intermediates, co-ops, charters, non-publics, and BIEs, and then adds up the total in that for this right column. And then it is also broken down the table under that by fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25. So then if you go to the very right table, aid appropriation increase and biennium aid increase, for fiscal year 23, this bill would cost about $17.3 million, and then in next biennium, it's going to cost $41.1 million. And then if you want to see a specific breakdown for the 3 fiscal years, that's also included in your packet. The long district runs, and I don't know if you want me to go over those, but.
Yeah, line by line, please.
Awesome. So.
No, I'm not, no. You never know.
Oh, okay. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And yeah, if you want to see the breakout by fiscal year for the different, for the cooperatives, charters, non-publics, BIEs, districts, and intermediates, take a look at the runs, because that will show the change, additional dollars the schools will receive. Thank you.
Thank you. Were you ready to go to your testifier, Senator Chamberlain?
I just give a brief overview of the bill, summarize it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Jillseth. So members, Mr. Chair and members, public safety is a top priority of government. It is one of our biggest responsibilities as a government, and as we go forward, part of that includes safety of the students in our schools. Public safety is primary importance for the state, for any government, and this leads to what we have here. So the safety of our children across the state is vitally important, of course, in all areas, all schools, and everything we do. So as I alluded to, we're doing two things. The revenue, adding aid, increasing the number of schools that can get the aid, and then also adding a couple of things that the aid can be used to pay for. So page 3 or 4, you'll see that it can be used to, in addition to current law, there are a couple additions to uses for the safe school aid. So the aid plus increasing who gets the aid and what it can be used to pay for. So that's what we're trying to do here, ensuring the safety of the students, and no matter what school or where they're at in this state, is a responsibility we have, and we, of course, all take it seriously. So we're taking a position, this proposal goes to that point of how can we help them out a bit, and this is some additional money for the schools to do just that.
Perfect. Thank you, Senator Chamberlain. First up, we have Sandy Lewandowski from District 287. I believe she's online.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, thank you. My name is Sandra Lewandowski, and I'm the Superintendent of Intermediate District 287. District 287 is a collaboration of 11 West Metro suburban school districts, and I'm here today to testify on behalf of all 4 intermediate districts. I really appreciate Senator Chamberlain's opening remarks. He almost took some of the words in my testimony and presented them for me. It is all of our collective responsibility to keep our public schools safe. In our district, District 287, we provide programs and services in many instructional areas in which our member districts wish to collaborate. But by far the largest area of our work is with students who are identified as special education setting 4, which means students need a full day segregated program, most often because of their very high behavioral needs. We also have an area learning center program that's focused on students who have not been successful in their local districts and are often considered coming to us as one of the last chances to achieve a diploma. A large number of those students are involved in court-ordered directives to attend school because of some community offenses. It's often hard to understand the role of an intermediate school district in the intersection of our work with students who come to us from both member districts and non-member districts. But here today, I'd like to suggest why additional funding is needed for intermediates. We specifically serve students with high instructional needs, but also very significant safety needs. These needs include students who are involved with weapons of all types, are involved with crimes in their community, and whose mental health profile may contribute to their behavior in a way that's dangerous to others, but specifically our staff. On average, we have approximately 350 staff injuries every year. This past fall, we had a high school student bring a loaded weapon into one of our buildings, and it wasn't discovered until the afternoon. And while he had no intent to use it, it certainly gave everyone a great deal of trauma and concern subsequent to that action. We have police asking to arrest students on our school sites because of felony warrants. And worst of all, about a month ago, it was on my watch that the first Minnesota school district had the death of a student due to a school shooting. Similar to what Senator Chamberlain said, it's our responsibility collectively for public safety. And I would ask this committee to consider that intermediate school districts often serve the students with some of the very highest safety needs seen in public schools. These safety needs are significant and increasing, and when a school expels a student for weapons violations or assaults on staff in their home district, they often refer the student to us. In closing, I would respectfully urge this committee to consider Safe Schools revenue higher than the amount in this bill. We're grateful for the $3, but candidly, it's simply not enough with the safety needs we're seeing in districts like mine. Thank you for your attention to this, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. If you can just hang on a few minutes, we've got two other testifiers, and we open it up for questions. So there may be some questions of members for you at that point. So if you can hang out a few minutes. Next, we have the superintendent from St. Michael Albertville School District, if she is on the line.
I'm here.
Okay, just state your name for the record and go ahead and get started.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairperson and committee members. My name is Anne Marie Fuco, and I'm in my 6th year as superintendent of the St. Michael Albertville Public Schools. We're a school district of approximately 6,600 students. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen as you consider Senate File 3380, which is aimed at modestly but purposely increasing revenues for safe schools while expanding the uses of this program to include cybersecurity and telemedicine. I am here on behalf of the Minnesota School Board Association and the Minnesota Association of School Administrators, which includes superintendents, school administrators, and school board members. We are in strong support of this bill. First and foremost, we know that students thrive in a safe and supportive learning environment. However, due to the pandemic, many students have experienced trauma, including disruptions in learning, isolation, disengagement from peers and school staff, and more. This trauma has had an adverse effect on the social, emotional, and mental health of our students. While we are certainly concerned with academics, we must first address the social, emotional, and mental health needs of students, as that is foundational for improving academic outcomes. To do this, we need ongoing and increased funding so that we can hire and retain licensed staff to address these critical needs of our students. Second, this bill increases per pupil revenue while establishing an escalating cap. The maximum levy amount does not change, so the proposed increases in this bill are coming from the state rather than taxpayers. This is important because the tax impact of levies varies significantly from district to district. This bill focuses on important statewide educational priorities while avoiding disparate impacts to taxpayers. Third, the bill increases the use of Safe Schools funding to include cybersecurity and expanded uses of mental health services. Cybersecurity is an increasingly important concern for districts as we continue to store more records electronically, as we shift our educational delivery systems to become electronically integrated across all grade levels. In addition, expanding access and the use of funds for e-formats for mental health services is also an efficient way to focus limited resources on meeting this emerging and critical need. Lastly, this bill includes flexibility and local control that allows each school district to utilize this revenue in the areas of greatest student need. In my district, we would use these additional funds to bolster social, emotional, and mental health supports for students. Some say we are in an endemic, while others say we're still in a pandemic. It really doesn't matter. What matters is our kids need us. They can't engage in the learning process until we address their social, emotional, and mental health needs. On behalf of MASA, MSBA, and my school district, I ask for your careful consideration and support of this very important bill. Thank you for listening and for supporting students across our great state.
Thank you for your testimony. And same thing, if you can hang out a few minutes in case there's a question for you. The last testifier I have is Scott Cronquist, and he's in person. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. My name is Scott Cronquist with the Association of Metropolitan School Districts. And the two superintendents did a wonderful job, so I'm going to be very brief, but did want to go on the record in expressing AMSD's strong support. One of our top legislative priorities this session is to address the mental health needs of our students. I don't have to tell you, you are all very well aware that our students have experienced significant mental health challenges. And that was true before the pandemic, but it certainly has been exacerbated over the last 2 years. You probably are also quite aware that the Safe Schools levy has been at that $36 per pupil level since 2015. And so an increase is certainly due, and we need it badly if we're going to hire those school support staff that we need to address these issues. As Superintendent Lewandowski noted, we're hopeful that maybe as we move forward and supplemental budgets are developed, there might be an opportunity to go even higher than what's proposed in the bill, but certainly anything that you can provide your school districts in this area is going to be greatly appreciated. So thank you, Senator Chamberlain, for bringing this bill forward, and thank you, members, for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Open it up for member questions. I have Senator Isaacson first. And for members, it's easier for me if you use the hand up feature on the Zoom. It's easier to see. Otherwise, I'll try to get you in if you don't see it. Senator Isaacson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Chamberlain, first let me just say, I don't know why I'm so close to the camera there. First, let me just say that I really appreciate, and I think this is a really good start on addressing something I share with one of the previous testifiers says that we probably need to do more than that, especially in areas where we have some extreme concerns, right? But I have to ask, did I read or hear correctly that you are also putting aside $44 a pupil for private schools or non-public schools?
Senator Chamberlain?
Mr. Chair, Senator Isaacson, yes. And as I stated in my, mentioned in my opening comments, public safety is the primary responsibility of a government, and in this case, no matter what school you attend, public, private, BIE, charter, co-op, intermediate, or otherwise, you are entitled to that protection. So I think this bridges that issue. I think it addresses that issue in a different way. It's not the atypical taking money as we debate over and over again over the years. It's not the school choice issue. This is basically a public responsibility of the government to provide safe environments for its citizens, and in this case, in the schools. Secondly, we are open to discussing, increasing it, or maybe where there's more need, perhaps putting it more to intermediate, but we can certainly discuss that as we move on as well.
Senator Isaacson?
Well, I do appreciate that sentiment, and I can understand the logic of where your angle is coming from. I think that I struggle with that would be that overall, we are, through no fault of your own or anybody else, just not funding schools appropriately. And we definitely, as we heard from superintendents talk about, even the aid we're increasing now isn't going to be enough to cover what their needs are. And I think that our primary responsibility in the education committee and an education focus is to take care of our public schools. And so for me, I'm uncomfortable with the increase, although I don't disagree with your logic in the sense that we got to make sure people are safe. I would prefer that if we're going to take care of our public schools, we make sure that we have them covered. And that's kind of our responsibility, in my opinion. And so that makes me uncomfortable with voting for the bill, but I'm interested in seeing where further discussion goes. And I do encourage you to consider, I think it's smart to think about where is the need greater and how can we provide more support where the need is greater. But until we fully fund public schools, I don't think we have any business spending money in private schools. And that's just where I'm at in my statement for the bill. Thank you very much. Senator
Swadzinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think, well, first of all, Superintendent Lewandowski, sorry for everything you've gone. Are you still here somewhere? I guess I don't even know. Anyways, wherever in the cloud you may exist, I just want to extend our condolences for what your district's gone through in the last few months. So thanks for coming in today. I don't know. I think I have a comment and a question. I'll go with my comment first. There's 10 items in this bill that will allow for money to be spent on from this fund, and I applaud everything on here, especially item number 6, counselors, nurses, social workers, psychologists, chemical dependency counselors. Our kids are hurting these days for a wide variety and a myriad of reasons that are outside of the purview maybe of this committee, but our kids are struggling right now, but item number 7 is a little concerning to me in that I know that because of this revenue fund, one of the high schools in my district recently spent a lot of money to fortify the building, so to speak. And I went in and I talked to all the security people about it, and they're sitting behind plate glass, and you have to put your card in this slot in order for them to look at it. And I asked them, what do you think of these changes? Do you feel more safe and secure? And all the security personnel in two schools I visited, they all said they used to sit at a desk at the front entrance, and they knew each kid by name, and they greeted each kid, and it was a warm, welcoming environment, and now they feel like they're working in a correction facility. And I don't know the answer. I don't know. I mean, we got problems, but when our kids feel and the security people feel like it's not a welcoming environment to enter into our schools, we've got that's a pretty big deal. And I hope we continue to hear, maybe we could dedicate a hearing one day and hear from how kids are feeling, and so to get some security people in here and some liaison police officers in, and let's hear what's going on in our schools from their point of view with respect to this fortification of our schools. And my question, I think, is for Ms. Joseph, so if you could come up here. And you went through your presentation so quick, and I tried to follow it to the best of my ability, and I apologize. But did you say that the intermediate school districts' increase in funding isn't comparable to the other schools? Is that an accurate summation, or did I miss it?
Ms. Joseph?
Thank you, Chair Icorn and Senator Swadzinski. So the intermediates were getting $15 per pupil in Levy, and that's going up to $18. So that extra $3 is just aid. And then on the district runs, so where it says, column I and then column E, that money is going to be transferred over to those cooperative units and then those intermediate school units. So cooperatives didn't receive any money before, now they're getting 18. And then intermediates are now getting the extra $3 additional, if that makes sense.
So,
Senator Swadzinski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Ms. Joseph. So to be clear, do our intermediate schools get the same amount of money per student that our other schools get?
Ms. Joseph?
Well, thank you, Chair Icorn and Senator Swadzinski, sorry. Other school, the districts are getting the $44, which was $36 in Levy per APU, so they're getting an extra $9 per student, and then intermediates are getting that extra $3, so.
Senator Chamberlain, might want to interject there for a second.
I hesitate to add anything to the math here because she is the expert, but I think maybe this will help. If I'm correct, Ms. Joseph can correct me if I am wrong. I believe the number is a percentage. It's about 22% up for the regular public schools, and the equivalent for the intermediate is about 20%. So if you just take that $3, that's about 20% of what it was, and for the public schools, that 9 is about 22%, I believe. Is that what you're getting at? Is that sort of ratio?
Well,
Swadzinski?
Thank you, sorry. Our intermediate schools are level 4 and level 5 students, and I think they, maybe our two superintendents can speak to this, but they have the highest at-risk students they're dealing with, and I just want to make sure they're getting equal amount of funding per pupil that our other schools get. And if that's the case, I would argue that they should even get more, but I was confused. I thought it sounded like they weren't getting as much as our public schools were. I think so anyways, that's what but hey, Senator Chamberlain, this is good, except for my 2 complaints about it.
Mr. Chair.
Senator Chamberlain?
So, I'm open to it. We started like this with kind of a ballpark, I suppose, 2022, and see where we can go. But I believe there might be room to go higher, but I don't disagree with you. Perhaps they need to be bumped And you know how these numbers work. We can move different things around and bump it up a bit too, but I don't disagree with you.
Senator Swazinski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and again, it's good, I agree with all the other, it's good to see the three of you back here, all of you, you know who you are, so thanks for being here.
Thank you. We certainly share that sentiment that it's great to have all the staff back here as well, so thank you for that. Senator Kunish, I have you next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could you explain to me, is this new dollars or is there a fund that we can draw from?
Senator Chamberlain?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Senator Kunish, if I understood, you asked if these are new funds. Yeah, this is new. This will be new dedicated funding going for the fiscal year 23 and then going forward.
Senator Kunish?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So when you say going forward, does this bill put this formula or funds into perpetuity, or is there an end date, or is this just year-by-year funding?
Senator Chamberlain?
Mr. Chair, Senator Kunish, first page, line 1.16, it says for fiscal year 2023 and later, so it would be ongoing until somebody says no.
Senator Kunish?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So would we be obliged to continue these payments year after year, or do we have to go back and request it every year?
Senator Chamberlain?
It continues on because the way the calculation is, it would be fairly static unless we change the levy number or the total revenue number. If those numbers don't change, then there are some, I think, inflationary things. Number of pupils would change it. So more pupils, more dollars, but we would have to change and adjust numbers for the levy and for the revenue if we want to increase the amount of dollars going into the aid. So it goes on, right now, the way the bill's written, it would go on in perpetuity unless a future legislative body came in and stopped it and repealed it. Secondly, if I'm incorrect, Ms. Gilseth will correct me, that unless we change the revenue number, the $44 and the $36 number, then the numbers won't change unless the pupil count changes. Would I be correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Senator Kunish?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just have one other question. I looked to see who the House authors are, and I'm not seeing a House author. Is there going to be some cooperation between the Senate and the House on this bill?
Senator Chamberlain?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair and Senator Kunish. Yes, that is the hope. We're working on that.
I'm done. Thank you.
Senator Duckworth?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate it. And Senator Chamberlain, I just want to say as a previous school board member, when I look at all the potential things that these kind of funds could be used for in the bill, for example, peace officers and sheriff liaisons in the districts, drug abuse prevention programs, gang resistance education training, crime prevention, school counselors, school nurses, social workers, you name it, and some additional things that are added in here to include mental health services delivered via telemedicine, as well as enhancing cybersecurity. This will go a long way with a lot of our districts, and when I look at the financial breakdown provided by staff, thank you very much for that, and I look at Lakeville, Farmington, Randolph, Rosemont, Apple Valley, Eagan, and all the others included, these are meaningful dollars. And this will go a long way and do a lot of good. And I want to follow up on one of the previous comments as well, just to make sure that we understand how this legislation trickles down to school districts, for example. When it comes to facility security enhancements, something that I had the opportunity and privilege to work through while I was on the Lakeville School Board, this bill doesn't tell a school district what those things are, what these funds have to be spent on or how they have to be used regarding security enhancements. The district has the freedom and flexibility to make those decisions and implement it as they see fit. Is that right?
Senator Chamberlain?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Was that all, Senator Duckworth?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you.
I'm not seeing any other questions, Senator Chamberlain, so if you have closing comments.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, members. I would hope that we could perhaps increase this a bit more. I can't make any promises, but it would be, in my opinion, a good idea, at least in the intermediate for the intermediate districts. And just as a reminder, the levy right now, if I'm wrong, again, somebody correct me, the current levy is about $39 million. So this is on top of that current $39 million that the districts can levy for. Of course, the district and the intermediate can levy, the others cannot. So the other categories, they do not have levy, and they were not given levy authority. So the current levy for those two areas is about $39 million. But thank you for the discussion. Hope we can find a House author. If anybody has an idea, please contact me, and we'll contact him as well. But we are trying to work on this piece over there as well. So with that, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's going to Finance, correct?
So with that, Senator Chamberlain moves that Senate File 3380 as amended hereby pass the committee and be sent to the Senate Committee on Finance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion does prevail, and Senate File 3380 as amended is sent to Finance. Senator Chamberlain, I don't see any additional business before the committee. Is that correct?
That is correct.
With that, the Senate Education Committee is adjourned. Thank you.